And here we are, promises kept for Tuesday, January the 3rd, 2023. Welcome to Things You Might Not Have Heard, where we bring you yesterday's news, latest and information, politics, current events, and pop culture. And we like to think of ourselves as your news side piece, a go-to source for unconventional stories that kind of get left over, but also putting a lot of effort into things that are really important that the mainstream keeps up with. And we have a very important list of things today, just sort of a tragic day coming from yesterday in news cast. So stand by. We're going to take good care of you with your news needs. As the teaser graphic shows, we're going to Buffalo and we're going to talk about the extremely sad incident last night in Monday Night Football. But we have 7 other stories to talk about from the last 30 hours. So just hang on for the great show. We'll explain how to participate in the vetting process because you make these stories possible. You tell me what to talk to, and then we will, particularly curate the ones down to the 8 particular. Gets us to about 10, 12 minutes. We'll get all the headlines done and go from there. For more information about the full offerings we have for the Conversation Project, stop by our website. This is theconversationproject.com. 8 headlines to go, vetted by you, curated by me, Jay Cleveland Payne. Let's go ahead and get into the stories for this morning. Starting off with a very sad one. This is one that was extremely late edition from last night and caused so much trauma to the world, if you will. This one overtook everything that happened all day long by leaps and bounds. This one is going to be one of the bigger stories of the year, just on sheer numbers now, and based on the last 12 months, would rank up as one of the biggest stories of last year going forward. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin in critical condition after collapsing on field. It's a headline that we posted late last night, or fairly late last night in our taking, fairly early in the game that happened on Monday Night Football. Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest and collapsed during the full first quarter against the Bengals, and the game has been postponed right now. Basically, there was a hit, which was basically a more or less typical hit that a safety would take. There was one player on the ground. Hamlin got up because he got up, and then he stumbled and fell again. He was given CPR on the field. An ambulance came out to cart him off. Not just a cart, an ambulance carried him off straight to the hospital. He is in critical condition. I've seen various places where they call it, basically, it's a hit to the heart, a hit right to the right center of the heart that causes your heartbeat to just fizzle out. It just does not go in rhythm. The electronics in your body just lose everything, and you just kind of go nuts, and then everything just seizes up. That's what we're dealing with right now. He is, of course, being taken here at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. Many of his teammates stay behind and to be with him in Cincinnati. However, the team as a whole has flown back to Buffalo. We'll see what happens to the game. This upcoming weekend is the final weekend of the season. And Buffalo is looking to win this game and basically clinch essentially the division with a win overnight. We will see what will happen to the records, what happens to scores. Obviously, the most important thing is the life of this young man, not so much the records, but there's a lot of ripple effects coming in if this game does not get finished. Right now, no one cares about the game being finished, which is the good thing. Our next story. This is one that we've been chasing all day long. Jeremy Renner in critical condition but stable after a snow-plowing accident. Jeremy Renner, of course, had an incident near his home in Reno, Nevada, outside Reno, Nevada, on a snowplow on Sunday. I don't have the listings here from this thing, but apparently what it was a snowplow running over his leg. We will know more about that. He ended up having to have a second surgery for this. He's in pretty good condition, considering he's speaking to people, he's talking to folks, he's responding to things, he's sending out messages. So that is all good. What we'll find out soon is more about the actual injuries. They were extremely hush about this early on, and more about his recovery path from that one. Let's move on to the next story for the morning. Martina Navratilova diagnosed with throat and breast cancer. Told you it was a bad day for famous people and sports people in particular. Martina Navratilova has been diagnosed with throat and breast cancer. She will start treatment later this month. She worked as a tennis commentator lately. That's what she's been doing now. She's been out of tennis for like 20 years. She noticed an enlarged lymph node on her neck last fall and was later diagnosed with stage 1 throat cancer and unrelated breast cancer. She was born in Prague in 1956 and became the U.S. citizen in 1981 after defecting the communist Czechoslovakia. And that defection was a big thing back in the day. It mainly allowed her to actually have a career and have a personal life, personal story. With all that said, we are sending thoughts and prayers to a lot of people today, obviously, going through some very serious suffering going this one. This one, not so much a suffering thing at the stage that is caught. It should be, although surgery is only routine for other people, a pretty routine thing going through that she should be able to recover from fairly quickly. So we're praying for the health and recovery of Martina Navratilova, also recovery of Janie Rimmer, and definitely looking for much health and apparently prayers for Damar Hamlin. If you want to look up Damar Hamlin and look up his charity to give some support on what's going on, he has a great thing for shoes for people. Look it up, give a little bit, and pray a little harder for people, and definitely hug your kids harder, tighter tonight. Prince Harry says he wants his father and his brother back. Prince Harry has been doing a lot of interviews, and this one he did with ITV, saying he basically wants the father that he knew and the brother that he knew back together before all the turmoil that happened. Turmoil that kind of is his fault when he brought in his new wife, the Duchess Meghan, but kind of isn't his fault because there's a lot of crazy racism in the UK, and especially in the family. And what he really wants is just, to be able to show up and have family again, especially with the loss of his grandmother and everything changing in. He's got children. He's got children and wants to spend time with his brothers. He knew what the big thing was being with his brothers. He realized sort of maybe late, but kind of knew in the background how it was having a famous mother and father, how his mother's fame was so overcoming and how people had a spotlight on them. So he understands a lot of what's going on. Things are a little bit different. The spotlights are a little bit brighter for various reasons right now. And when you're speaking out against the family, you're speaking out against the family. So we're not sure how they're going to bring him back into the fold. Not sure if they want to bring him back in the fold. Prince Harry wants to be Prince Harry with his brother and his father again. Banks seek to quash women's lawsuit in Jeffrey Epstein case. Guess what? Jeffrey Epstein had a bunch of cases before he died, and he basically lost a bunch of them. So they owe the estate of Jeffrey Epstein owe a lot of money to a lot of people. These banks that hold these money say they had nothing to do with it, so they want to drop all the lawsuits because, one, Epstein's dead, so it's hard to prosecute him this time, and two, they had nothing to do with it, and it's just money. So why are they in this? Why? Because it's Epstein's money, and they had something to do with it, and the money will be squashed. No, the case won't be squashed. The money will be distributed at some point in time, because someone will figure out the more or less right thing to do, not the business thing to do, the right thing to do. We have faith that people think Jeffrey Epstein is a scumbag, and that his assets should be wiped out and his name should be pounded into the sand forever for just being a terrible, terrible guy. We shall see how long it takes for these people, banks, to figure out they aren't going to win this one. Problem is they have a good chance of winning because they are banks, they have money, but they should know better. Idaho murders. Suspect was identified through DNA using genealogy database, police say. Yes, Brian Christopher Kohlberger, the suspect in the murders of the four Idaho students, was found through DNA through public genealogy databases. Essentially, one of those matching type things, so genealogy type stuff, ancestries.com when you put it in there. So there you go. One of the reasons behind not sending in your DNA is because when you send it into a public registry, you send it in for some sort of testing, like it's literally there to be found. They can put it into a database and go with it. It's not like, you see on Law and Order where they put it into their criminal database and see if something pops up. You're just there. You're just out there. You're there for literally the public to see because you want to find your long lost relatives across the country. So everybody puts your stuff in there. It's public knowledge. It's public there. You can find whoever you want to. And that's how we found the DNA match for the young man. Now, why was the DNA there? Why did this thing happen? Is he actually not the alleged, but the actual killer? We shall see as more of this story plays out. Let's go to this one. Danish screenwriter Lise NÄ dies at age 105. So congratulations for hitting that mark. NÄ died Sunday after brief illness, her family said on Monday. She worked at a major Danish newspaper including Politiken and Berlinski. Danish lawmakers tweeted in honor of Nergard, who was little known outside of the rest of the world. Basically, Scandinavia and Germany knew about her because of what she did. She worked with a German ambassador and lived on stuff on television for that stuff. But in the case of the rest of the world, we knew nothing about her. Why are we talking about it today? There was a lot of really fluffy and kind of silly stuff and a lot of just randomish sports stuff that was in the feed that we were kind of thinking we can get in and go through what was going forward. And then Damar Hamlin happened, and that basically wiped out the happy Tom Brady stories and things like that. So we went with less sports stuff and more other stuff. This one was a pretty big deal for the Danish people. So hopefully for you out there, you'll enjoy it as well. 105. That's a pretty darn good run. And Samuel Jackson has a clause in every contract which allows him to play golf twice a week. We actually posted this or talked about this in a video I did on TikTok on the stories that did not make it, because this was in the realm of the later stuff that was posted into the feeds that, was kind of in the range, but we curated it out because of other stories. It was old enough, long enough, big enough to be in the range for today as well. So we're doing it today. Because, he likes golf. He's 74 years old. He's, iconish. He can write into basically anything he wants to a clause to give in a movie. You put him in a movie, people watch, come and see it, no matter how bad it is. A bad Netflix flick will draw some numbers because Samuel Jackson is in it. And because of that, he gets a couple nice little clauses to put into his things, including, and he did this for a number of years, writing in golf twice a week in the schedule. So he doesn't necessarily get the day off, but he gets enough time to play around a golf or two, then come back and do some reshoots or do some voiceovers, things like that. Every single contract he does, he gets 2 weeks of golf. You've earned it, Sam Jack. We love you for that. Now let's go ahead and do the teaser for the day. Husband, let me blow this up real quick so I can see it a little bit better because of the way things set up. Sorry about that. YouTube star Jenna Marbles' husband pepper sprays alleged stalker family home. Hard to read with the weird YouTube or TMZ stuff they have there. But yeah, we're talking about Jenna Marbles in 2023. And not talking about her coming back to the internets because she ain't doing that. But her husband basically pepper sprayed a stalker at their home. Will we talk about this tomorrow? I'm not so sure about that. But like I said, we had a rough morning kind of processing Damar Hamlin. So with that, our problem is we got to be kind of pithy and all that other stuff. A little hard to do when processing a story like that. But this is one of the stories that's going to post within the next 10, 15 minutes. If you want to chat this one up or any other story that we have posted throughout our feeds, follow the feeds just like that. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/This Is a Conversation Project and twitter.com. That's where we're as well. Twitter.com/th_conversation. The feeds are how you engage with us. You vet the stories by liking, loving, hating, sharing, and reading the stories on the feeds. Once you do that, we every morning, right about 5 in the morning or so, we'll pull all the data from both of those things, put them in a spreadsheet that gives them an average number or a true number, averages out the numbers from the two series, gives us one score, and that's how we get our top to bottom score. Today, which is Tuesday through Friday, we'll give you 8 stories from the top 15 of the last 30 hours. On Monday, we'll give you 10 stories from the top 30 of the past full weekend, so there's more stories to pick from, a larger scope. But this is one where we give you right here, and that's how it happens. You just follow us on our feeds and let us know what stories you have. Now, if you happen to engage in a story and it does not get where you want to be because I cut it out because of the timing of the format, send me a message and let me know. We'll see if we can do like Samuel Jackson, bring him back the next day because it's an early story, or bring it up in some other type of media. Speaking of other type of media, let's talk about chess. Chess is in the media. Chess is big right now, and you can get into chess with a chess board and chess sets and chess accessories that are beautiful for you to display out for everyone. We are happy to have this as a sponsor, the Chess Store, and they provide for you, as this says right there, if you can read the sign, chess sets you're looking for. Yes, Staunton wood sets, metal and theme, antique representations, plastic and travel, unique and luxury. Chess is something that's really big in our house. My daughter loves going to chess stuff. Every time we do this up, I bring up Miss George in the chess club and what she's doing for the kids. And what she's really doing for the kids is giving them nice chess stuff, not necessarily from here, but my daughter's got travel chess stuff and all these little things because she wants them to learn it. Chess is a critical thinking type of game that'll help you figure out a lot of problems. Basically, if you're stressed out, sit down in front of a chessboard and kind of think yourself way through there. Get yourself out of your head and onto the board. Check out great chess sets, great chess accessories, great chess stuff at this is the conversationproject.com/the chess store. This is the conversationproject.com/the chess store. This is an affiliate link, so we do get a bit of commission for you buying from there, but you're not going to be disappointed, and it costs you nothing extra. Check it out, the chess store. You can also check out our main website, which is conversationproject.com, for links to places like the chess store, links to the sponsorship page, and other things going on, including other things we're doing, including, I say including a lot today. That's my crutch for today is including the weekly wrap up, where we'll give you the full data of top 10 stories based on numbers purely, not on me choosing things out because the story goes wide. Also, the conversations, we'll probably change the name of that, but it's interview sections going up, and the You're Welcome podcast, which brings up a topic or a story that people really want to say really, 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 really not popular things about, and I basically break it down for folks. Check all that out at thisisconversationproject.com. Oh, and make sure you look for links where we're everywhere, including the TikTok. TikTok is actually doing well now. We found a groove of some things to work on, and we're doing our best to pop in, make sure that populates. As we get back to the swing of real life without the holiday, we'll see how well and how engaging we can be and how much editing we can do, because it is work. But check us out. We're on TikTok, YouTube. We have a blog. We have a podcast. If you just want to listen to us, check it out at thisisconversationproject.com. Find us all over that place. We also do, at the end of the thing, the today things, which make it more today-ish. Happy birthday today, starting off with January 3rd birthdays. Believe it or not, the oldest person on the list, although there were older ones to put in there, we go with 3 a day, is Danica McKellar, Winnie Cooper, who's 48 years old on the day. And if that doesn't make you feel a little bit older, you're probably too young to understand why Winnie Cooper is a thing. Florence Pugh, however, 27 years old, the star of many, many movies, including one of the stars of the upcoming Thunderbolts, which is more or less an offshoot of the Avengers. Marvel's happening there. And happy birthday to the Slayer on Twitter, the Twitter Slayer, Greta Thunberg, who is only 20 years old today. Activist since she was about 16 or so. She came on the scene doing that stuff, slaying Andrew Tate, and of course, having Andrew Tate having his response. I don't know if it's a picture or a video or whatever, coming back, which got him arrested because they were able to find out he had pizza boxes in Denmark and in Amsterdam, and they just said, "Oh, I know that pizza place. He's probably over here." If she's not a hero for that, she's here, and she's saving the world, she's saving the planet, and she's getting Andrew Tate locked up. I'm all for that. Today is Vampire Sneeze Practice Day. What's that all about? Well, if you don't have a tissue and you've got a little sneeze coming in, they ask you not to use your hands. They ask you to sneeze in your elbow like a vampire, as if you were taking a vampire's cape and going over there. That's all I got today. Vampire Sneeze Practice Day. Today is the day to practice your vampire sneeze. That's all I got. That's literally all I got today. But I do have this one. One more thing going out the door. One more thing you might not have heard. Winter is the season of most breakups. Believe it or not, a survey found that 38% of all breakups by singles occur in the dreary months of winter. Only 15% singles break up in the spring. About 23% break up in the summer and fall. 63% of breakups are initiated by women, which is there. So while you may think all the pictures on your feed about a woman looking for a man to put their feet on in the wintertime is the norm, they're trying to find somebody. In actuality, they're trying to kick their man to the curb in the cold. That's what's actually happening, anecdotally or in real time. That's just the nature of the beast. Because science. Okay, This has been Things You Might Have Heard for Tuesday, January the 3rd, 2023. My name still Jay Cleveland Payne, and we are going to keep giving you more great stuff. More news stories are on the way, being listed right now and posting every 50 minutes on our feed. So follow us on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter so you can make sure you are vetting the stories, the best stories possible. Show me which stories are the best. So we'll go through that. As we said, we're going to take 15 from the top, 30 to 35, that based on how we post things, we'll have more stories, less stories. And then we're going to vet those down to 8 stories in a presentation for you on Wednesday. What will be the top story for Wednesday? We won't know until Wednesday comes. So are we talking gender marbles? We won't know until Wednesday comes. So since I'm caught in a little cough, let's get out of here. Let's see what comes when Wednesday comes. Oh, I can't leave without saying stay hydrated, stay limber, and stay on task. In the meantime, say what is here and the internets and the Conversation Project, and let's see what we're talking about tomorrow morning.